Hi everyone, it's Carrie. I figured I'd come on here and start my own personal video diary. Talk about my life, what's going on, and what's even gone on in my past. I figured that could help a lot of people out, and just getting some information out there. So this is my first video, so bear with me, and a little information about myself is I'm 36 years old. And I had a really rough childhood growing up. Things were very difficult, and I had a lot of things I needed, but I didn't have the emotional or mental support from my mom. My parents were separated a lot while I was growing up. My dad was heavy into alcohol, and so he'd run away every few months to drink. But on top of that, he'd also run away because my mom was very abusive towards him. I have witnessed my dad being stabbed by my mom with a steak knife, kitchen steak knife. When we'd go out on trips in the car, my mom, she would get upset over the smallest things. And she would actually, while we're driving down the highway, throughway, didn't matter, she'd actually like grab pens and stab him, try to stab him. And me and my sister would be in the car and my grandma, and we'd all be crying, "Mom, stop, stop." And as I got older, I think it started when I was around maybe 7, 8 years old. That's like the furthest back I can remember. But she started abuse on me and my sister. Any little thing. I mean, yeah, there's punishment, a little spanking here and there is okay, but my mom would take it to the extreme. She'd pull my hair until chunks of hair would come out, smacked in the face, hit with any object that was around her. And as I got older, into my young teen and teenage years, it would start to where she'd do punches, still the hair pulling. I've been even kneed for little things. And I think what happened was she wasn't properly diagnosed. She did have depression, but she also, I believe, was bipolar. She could go from one extreme to the other. And so it was very hard growing up. A lot of times I felt worthless because she would tell me she wished she had somebody else for a daughter. I wasn't good enough. And it was years and years and years of this. And it got to the point it just stuck to me. And even to this day, I have difficulty dealing with it. I have difficulty with constructive criticism because I go back to that mindset of I'm still not good enough. And it was hard, very hard. And then when I got older, I finally got the courage to move out when I was 18. And I met someone, which I rushed into a relationship just because I wanted and needed that love, which I thought I was getting. And come to find out, it was a very abusive relationship there too. And even with that one, there was mental and emotional abuse with that too. I was told, it wasn't good enough. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I don't care about you. Always yelling and screaming. And then finally the cheating. So I went from one bad situation pretty much right into another. And everybody tried telling me that it's not good for you, and I didn't want to listen. So I went through almost 9 years of a domestic violence relationship, and the only good thing that came out of that relationship was my 2 beautiful children, who I'm very happy to have, my son and my daughter. And but luckily there's a good point in all this, and good side is when after I finally left him a few years down the road, I met a wonderful guy. We met online, so online dating can work if you do it the right way. Don't rush into anything. And we're happily married now. I have 3 wonderful stepsons whom I love, a wonderful husband, and from all that bad stuff, kind of like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I am now going back to school. We own our own house. I have my own car. And it's very good. Very good now. My mom did pass away back in 2005 from suicide. Like I said, I don't think she ever got the supports that she needed, and unfortunately it took a hold of her and she died by suicide. And also, when I was in my abusive relationship in 2010, December 2010, I thought also I couldn't get out. I thought there was no place else to go. And I did also attempt suicide. I ended up in the hospital for it. And the main thing that kept me going was my children. And they told me then, because they knew my husband was my ex-husband was the reason it happened. And they told me then if I wanted to get out by New Year's, that I needed to get rid of him for once and for all. And I did, and I haven't looked back since. So now I'm a strong advocate for suicide prevention, any mental health related issues. I myself have borderline personality disorder. I am a strong advocate for domestic violence as well. And there's so much more about me, but I'm going to stop this video for right now just to see how it came out and see how it does. And I will be back with more life stories and just maybe a day-to-day rundown of what's going on, because I am human just like everybody else, and sometimes it's just nice to have somebody you can relate to. And I have so many stories, so many different things that have happened in my life. There's got to be somebody out there that can understand or can use the help and the advice. So thank you, take care, blessed be, and I will see everybody later.